All right, y'all. So we tried to go to Guy's Deli, but their kitchen closes at 2 p.m. and it's definitely 3:30. So we decided that we're gonna meet at Crossroads Hotel and check out their little bar restaurant thing, which is right across from Society in the Crossroads area. So I'm walking there, and Steve is going to meet me here shortly. I've been here a few times with my lady. We love some of their pizza options, and we'll see what Steve decides to purchase here and what I decide to get. So stay tuned. All right, y'all, look, this go my Parmesan sandwich. Got a tomato stabbed into the top of it, danger. And then we got, what we got right here, man? The
So
meatballs.
this is the three cheese meatballs. Three cheese meatballs with, I don't know, something that I'm very excited about.
Now you're probably wondering, ladies and gentlemen, why do I have a camera on you? Because we're watching you, and you're watching us. Taste or Waste, back at it again. It's your boy CIZZY and
Stevie B. Eaton.
whew, I love it every time. I love it every time. And ladies and gentlemen, you guys definitely did what we weren't expecting. You guys gave us the views that we were not expecting on that last one with Bacaro Primo. Hopefully, some of them actually go and check it out.
Yes, if you haven't, please do, for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
And subscribe.
We need that. We need
Definitely.
that. But I was happy that we got a few subscribers from that.
We
past
did.
Video. I'm
We
gonna
did.
say it's Steve's following on Facebook and LinkedIn, because I posted, I got like a like. He posted, we got like 90 views the next morning. I was like 90 people, got like 6 subscriptions, all from his post. So Steve got that clout. Steve got that.
You know, it is what it is.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, today we're back at it again with another episode, which means a new restaurant. Now, our plan was to try the restaurant on the screen right now. And when Collis got there early, he realized that there was a sign on the door that said
That it was closed. No, their kitchen was closed.
kitchen was closed.
Their
They
kitchen
were
was
open.
closed, yes.
Kitchen was closed. They were open. I was like, bruh, I ain't trying to come in here and buy toothpaste from a Kansas City bodega. We're not in New York. I just wanted the sandwiches, okay? So I double asked the lady at the front. I said, I just want to confirm before my guy gets here. Is the kitchen closed? She was like, yes, like the sign says on the door. And I was like, thank you, Queen. Appreciate it. Walked out, called my boy. I said, you trying to do this today? You trying to reschedule for another day? He said, I'm on my way.
Right.
I'm on my way. I said, say less.
Because he had one job. And that was to pick the restaurant. One job.
Listen, what I'm supposed to do, it was a paper sign on the window. He wanted me to go there on like 3 days before and go check at that time. Would they be open?
Some of us are dedicated, some of us aren't.
You're right. I mean, it is like a 2-minute walk from my house, so.
Right.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Moving on. We went to Guy's Broadway Bodega. It was kitchen closed, so we said, hey, what's the closest thing next to us? And we were like, the XR, which is where?
Crossroads Hotel.
Crossroads Hotel. And where is it at in the Crossroads Hotel?
What, like the address? I don't know. Like, I know it's across from Lulu's Noodles because I go there in Society KC, which is also good. But it's a really cool hotel, a really cool spot, so.
I'm laughing because he misunderstood what I was saying. I'm saying, where was it at in the Crossroads Hotel?
Oh, it's at the bar. As soon as you come in the lobby, you take a left and it is there. It meets you with a lot of style, a lot of class. It's really a great ambiance. It really, makes me feel like I was in another city, really. Because there's this hotel that's in New York that I stay at when I go there for work. And the vibe in there is just like that. Like the bar is large, dark wood, and it's right in the front, and you have a lot of
Low light.
Yeah, low light. It was really nice. So
yeah, I was gonna ask you what your first thought was. You just gave that, so thank you for answering my brain thought. When I walk in there, I always feel like maybe I should walk my ass right back out. because I'm like, damn, this place look kind of expensive, and I'm not in an expensive part of life. You know what I'm saying? And so every time I almost turn around, but then I remember, Steve's got it. Steve's got it. And, you know, I stayed. Steve pulled up. You guys will see some of those clips at the beginning of this video. You know, Steve always comes well-dressed and smelling good. That's what my girlfriend says. So I always got to, you know, step my style up if my girl's not, but she ain't here. So, you know, I could put a hoodie on. But I am representing my lady with my hoodie. So shout out Clean Version. Shout out on that vibe. So the swag is there. All right, let's move on to our meals of the day. We did not do appetizers this time. Why did we not do appetizers?
Well, I think mine technically was an appetizer, but yours weren't. Yours wasn't. I can't speak. But you also got to tell, you know, what you decided to do with the last minute.
Yes. At the very last minute, I said, let's get tricky. Let's get tricky. I said, how about I choose your meal and you choose mine?
I don't know how I feel about that. Okay.
I promise I won't give you a salad. How about that?
Okay. If you don't give me a salad, then I feel more comfortable. So, okay.
You agree?
I agree.
So what did you choose for Collis, my friend?
I got you. Wasn't the chicken parmesan. The chicken parmesan
He
sandwich.
doesn't have his glasses. He doesn't have his contact lenses. He left them at the geriatric center.
Anyway, I chose the chicken parm sandwich because it sounded really good. And I was actually trying not to do bread. Otherwise, I would have ordered the chicken parm sandwich. So that's what I ordered for this individual.
Individual, he says. But me, also just as kind as him, I was like, hey, I heard him talk about the 3 cheese meatballs, so I might as well get him something that sounds good. Because I was going to be boozy, and if you're looking at the screen right now and you still see the menu, I was going to get him an Italian chopped salad, but that would have been cold-hearted. Get him a salad while I got a nice, perfect, we'll describe that later, chicken parm sandwich. So I got him the 3 cheese meatballs. And let's go ahead and break down what was in each, my sandwich and what was in your appetizer. So go ahead and break down what you ordered me, and then I'll break down how it tasted.
Because you're going to make me do that because, you know, I don't have my glasses on. So the chicken parmesan was roasted chicken breast with some kind of sauce.
No, pronounce it.
Abracadabra sauce. We're just going to go with abracadabra. Mozzarella, creamy pesto, basil, and Parmesan frico.
Now, you know Collis has to get a little bit of frico in his sandwich. You dig what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna break it down how it tasted in a second, but what I got him was the 3 cheese meatballs. He had the taleggio. The taleggio filling, fresh mozzarella, pecorino, pomodoro sauce, and basil spiced fried pasta. Basil spiced fried pasta, which sounds fire. Almost choked on my gum. Never chew gum while shooting a video. All right, chicken parm sandwich. Now, listen, this waiter was really good at describing the foods we got. Shout out to him. I think his name was Mark.
Luke or John. I don't know.
But the good thing is we did get his name written down somewhere. Or
was it written? I think you texted to me.
I texted it to you.
I'm going to find his name.
Ladies and gentlemen, waiting and pausing in. You got to search the text thing. You know how to do that?
Nope.
It's okay. I can't help you with that either.
Keep talking.
No, all right, boom.
Well,
So
because
I'll break down my sandwich. So my sandwich, okay. Now, what was good about this sandwich is there was like 2 types of cheeses in there. The mozzarella and then the Parmesan frico. And how he was explaining it was that they were melted but like dried together. So it was like chewy, but it wasn't like running cheese. You know when you get a hamburger and it melts and the cheese is running and such like that, like a runny egg? It wasn't running, it was like crusted cheese. It would be the best way I could describe it. Imagine like crusted breaded cheese.
His name was Max.
Shout out Max.
So Max was awesome. I mean, he definitely described it better than what this one did because it sounds like somebody's crusty feet is what he's describing. But it actually looked really good. But continue.
I will. And Max, if you watch this, please leave a comment with your perfect representation or explanation of my sandwich. But yes, it was like crusted breaded cheese on top of the roasted chicken breast. So I don't know if it was the chicken sandwich, if it was the sandwich itself that was like breaded, you know, the meat.
Yeah.
If the meat was breaded, or if it was the cheese that I was tasting that was breaded. But nonetheless, they mixed it in so well that I thought it was the same thing, as you can see from how I'm trying to explain it.
Yes.
It was a very simple plate. There were no extras on the plate. It was just the sandwich, which is perfectly fine. And it wasn't like melting all over your hands or a really messy sandwich, which personally Carlos is a fan of because I don't like having to manage a sloppy, falling apart sandwich. So really well put together. You'll see the photos on screen here in a second, but tasted really good. I really don't have too much else to say about the sandwich because it was very basic. I mean, it was basic, but it was tasty. You had the Parmesan, you had the mozzarella. It was melted in together on like a breaded piece of chicken. At least that's what it felt like, a breaded piece of chicken. And then very soft, but firm enough bread. And it wasn't like huge. It wasn't super small, perfect medium size. Kind of reminded me of SpongeBob when they talk about the little, I don't know, in SpongeBob they have this famous burger in SpongeBob.
The Krabby Patty.
The Krabby Patty. It made me think of a Parmesan chicken Krabby Patty. First off, the only reason you know it, never mind. Anyways, moving on. So let's move on to your sandwich. I want you to break down your meatball because it wasn't a sandwich.
Right.
Your 3 meatball cheese.
It was not a sandwich. So yes, I had the 3 cheese meatballs. I was very excited about that when it got ordered. And the presentation was beautiful. Like it looked really, really good. As you can see in the photo that's on there, I mean, it's like you've got the different colors, you got the different textures and all of that. It looked really good. So, and the thing is, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but I feel like, because basically it was 3 meatballs and it was covered with the 3 cheeses and a really good sauce. So, and I'm trying to be politically correct, but the meatballs were very bland. Like, if it wasn't for the sauce, the meatballs, they would have been very bland. The cheese was good, but I mean, cheese is cheese. Cheese is wonderful. You know, you pretty much put cheese on anything and it would be great. But the meatballs, I wanted more seasoning to them. I wanted some more, and you actually tried one of the meatballs too. And they were large. They were large meatballs, but it didn't have the seasoning.
Yeah, imagine Carlos came to your house and you gave me ground beef, right? I grabbed the ground beef, I balled it up into a little ball, and then I cooked it.
That's fair.
And that's not, again, the meat tasted fine.
Yeah,
it was cooked well,
yeah.
But it didn't even require, in my humble opinion, it doesn't have to, I don't really think it requires any political correctness because it was good.
Yeah,
it was good,
but
it wasn't something where you're like, I'm at a restaurant, this has this amazing seasoning, they must have done something special with this meatball. It was very I could have made this meatball at home, but the presentation, the cheese and all that obviously made it into a full experience.
It did. But in all fairness, Max did say that it's just meatballs. You can get meatballs anywhere. That was exactly what he said.
And then he said right after that, I mean, it's good.
Right.
Which is exactly what we're saying.
Right, but you can get meatballs anywhere.
Yes.
So, but the pasta, it was almost like a cracker.
That was so confusing.
But it was very, very good. Now that was amazing. That was very good. And eating that with the sauce and everything, it really brought everything together. But it was different. It was, because at first I thought it was a cracker, but then it actually is a pasta.
That's a pasta?
That's what you read earlier.
Wow. I didn't even realize that.
So anyway, but everything was good.
Pasta? What the hell?
But it just did not stand out. It was not like something like, oh my gosh, these meatballs
I have
are
to
so
have them
good.
again.
Yeah, I have to have them again. Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't get that, but it still was a good meal.
I think the pasta apparently was the most interesting thing because when it came out, you were looking at it and it kind of looks like one of those cheese-filled raviolis. If you look at the photo with some Parmesan on top.
Uh-huh.
That's what it looks like. And when he was like, you want to try this? And Carlos always says yes. I thought I was going to get a bite of a nice, soft, ravioli-filled situation.
Right.
I bite it and it was like a Dorito. I was like, what in the hell is going on? Now, it tasted good, don't get me wrong, but I was really confused. So the fact that that's a pasta is pretty amazing in my humble opinion. That's probably...
Really good.
Let me read that again. Let's read that again. Basil spiced fried pasta, ladies and gentlemen. Basil spiced fried pasta was what you just saw on the screen. I don't know about you, but I've never heard of pasta being like chippy.
No.
Maybe that's an Italian thing that we just haven't been exposed to
I don't know,
before.
but I like it.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is a funny name.
What?
The name of these. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking at the screen right now and you're looking at the snack and share, there's an option called D's Nuts, but it's D's Nuts. So it's a funny play on wording. Anyways, D's Nuts.
Are you too?
No, but that's exactly what they were trying to do there. It's not like I made that up.
I know.
Anyway.
You just had to point it out, though.
I thought it was pretty good. The Shroomer Boomer is also another good name, Shroomer Boomer. But anyways, I enjoyed the meals. I thought that his tasted good. The meatball, again, was plain, but it was, it was a meatball, a common meatball, like Max said, and kind of prefaced before he let us order our food. So he was an amazing waiter. He really described everything really well. And you might have already watched this clip already. I have yet to decide where I'm going to put it, but he has an amazing description of the drink that Steve had. So let's pull up the photo of the drink. And Steve, since I didn't have a sip of this, obviously I have nothing to say about it. So go ahead.
Of course.
Break it
so
down.
this was called, was it the Fine Line?
Yes.
Fine Line? Okay. So it was actually really good. And he really, really well described it in the different rum that was in it and how it's not a rum that you would usually find and, so on and so forth. There was a pineapple rum and then another kind of rum. And it was actually really
Haitian
good.
rum.
Haitian. That's right. It was Haitian rum. And it actually reminded me of more of a, like a whiskey drink. I mean, it had kind of that heavy alcohol, but it was really good, almost like a lighter old fashioned.
Okay.
Is kind of how I would describe it, but a little citrusy. But it was very good. It was definitely one of those ones that if you had a few, you would definitely fill it. But since I'm a professional, I got this. But
he let me drive his Jaguar home.
Anyway, so it was actually very good. And the fact to ignore that malarkey, I even loved the presentation and how the drink was delivered. The glass that it was very classy, and it was very good. And I finished it. I got to take that first sip, and I think you might have recorded that.
I sure did.
But anyway, I took that first sip, and it was actually like, wow, this is good. This tastes more like a lighter old fashioned. But it was very good. It was very good. He described it perfectly, and I enjoyed it immensely.
All right, you guys, so we just got a breakdown of one of the drinks that is here at Crossroads Hotel. I'm going to keep him off camera, but I'm going to let this gentleman share what he just said because it was really confusing, but it sounded badass, so we gotta have it.
It's technically a rum. It's made similar to a rum, but it doesn't meet the legal requirements to be called rum from Haiti, even though it is made exactly identically to rum. It's a specific type of law that they have to allow certain rums out of Haiti. This one doesn't meet it, but it still tastes absolutely delicious.
And are we trying that, Steve? Yep. Like further into the bottom floor is an Italian restaurant that Max bragged heavily about. What did he say? He didn't say anything I necessarily remember besides the fact that it is one of the most underrated Italian restaurants in Kansas City. And there's a lot of things on their menu that are cooked and prepared in a different special type of way that's not common when you think about the other Italian restaurants in Kansas City. He also mentioned he's really confused about why it's not mentioned in the top 5 Italian restaurants, like some of the other restaurants are, like Corvino and Plate and some of the others.
Because he directly associated with Corvino. And he said it was a secret. It's like one of the best kept secrets. And he, specifically said, you guys need to try it out, because it is great. The atmosphere is great. The food is amazing. And I really don't understand why, it is not more heavily publicized than it is.
Yes. And do you remember the name of it? You just told me a second ago.
I did just tell you a second ago.
It's like Lazier.
Yeah, I can look it up.
We'll put it in big letters on the screen if anything else. So that's the second place. XR, the Lazier or Laissez-faire or Laissez-faire. And then the third one is on the rooftop, which just opened up a few months ago, called the Percheron Rooftop Bar. The Percheron Rooftop Bar has some beautiful scenery of downtown Kansas City, and going, southbound towards Union Station, you can also have a pretty good visual of the city going that direction. So
Lazia.
Lazia.
More than, it says at Lazia, dinner is more than a meal. It's an experience.
And we will experience that another time. So then the rooftop Percheron bar, great vibes, great visual. I've been there for a few events at night where we've had some friends of friends DJing, so good vibes at night as well. I personally have never had any food, drinks, or desserts from there, but this guy, what'd you do after college departed?
So after the Buzz Killington left, I decided I wasn't ready to go yet because I didn't have to be somewhere until like maybe 30 minutes after he had left and abandoned me. So I thought to myself, self said, hell yeah, dog. So I went up to the Percheron and they had desserts.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Stevie B Eaton. We just got finished trying our last spot, for our video, and Collis had to leave. So when the cat's away, the mice will play. So I am able to get a dessert. So I came up to the rooftop. So I'm up here, and which is beautiful up here and really cool. But I was able to actually get my dessert. So
it actually really was delicious, to be honest. It was very, the consistency was just like an ice cream bar, but it did have like the tartness of a Greek yogurt. But the sweetness of the crushed baklava on top of it actually, really melded well together, to the point where I almost licked the plate.
Good thing he didn't send a video of that. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, he did enjoy that. One thing I am proud of that evening is Steve realized he was full at some point, and he was like, you know what, I don't need to eat all this right now. He packed up a box of his meatballs and his chip thingies.
Fried pasta.
Yeah, fried pasta, and took it home for the later to go box. This is often something we talk about when we are talking about, how to approach eating out and still enjoy your life, still enjoy eating out, but also, focus on some of your fitness goals. So shout out to Steve for that. I'll give you a fist bump.
I'll take it.
Outside of that, ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what we had. I would say I rate the experience first, and then I'll tell you, we'll do a little taste or waste together where we'll both yell out our opinion at the same time.
An overall taste or waste?
Yes, overall taste or waste. My rating is going to be a 7 out of 10. Quick explanation. I think everything was tasty, but everything was average. I feel like it was all something my lady could have cooked. Like my lady could have cooked, and that's not like a haze at my lady. She's really good at cooking, so obviously that says something, and she also is really good at presentation. But nothing stood out to me of like, wow, this is like the best thing. I need to come back and see this visual again. I need to take more photos. Again, great experience. Crossroads is more of a place you visit, I think, more on like a weekly base, not so much as like I'm gonna take my friends here when they come in town. It's like, oh, I'll pull up here like a coffee shop, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I feel. So nice little 7 out of 10. And what would you rate it? And then we'll do our taste or waste and we'll yell it out.
I would probably give it, so can I give, well, I guess I need to give it the whole, because my dessert was at a different restaurant, technically.
Yes. Crossroads Hotel experience.
Crossroads Hotel experience. I would actually give it an 8. And that's including everything overall. Because like I said, the meatballs weren't bad. They were just meatballs. But the drink was really good. Max was a 10. And then my, dessert was amazing. The whole experience. Like I had been there, at the hotel for other things. I've never actually sat down and ate. So the experience of eating there was amazing. So I would give it an 8.
Bet. We're about to do taste or waste, ladies and gentlemen. Taste or waste. Based off of our explanation, and maybe if you watch this video and then go, we would love for you to leave in the comment section if you would taste or waste Crossroads Hotel's XR bar and their Percheron desserts. But on the count of 3, we're going to both yell ours out. So 3, don't yell it too loud, it's an apartment building. 3, 2, and 1.
Waste.
Ooh.